conversation to some questions that the Sports Mvt online community sent through to us that they would love to ask you. And I'll start off with this question from 𝗀𝗄. Now, she simply says, in 2019, you made your debut in the 𝗀𝗙cie Hockey tournament, in the Premier Hockey League, and in varsity hockey. Do you think that this year built you to be a more resilient hockey player?
Absolutely, absolutely. I feel like, as I said, like you first play your varsity cup and you see where you are, you just want to keep building and building. And I feel like there were a lot of challenges in that year, despite, all the victories and stuff. I feel like, yeah, it did create me into a very strong player. And also became very resilient towards a lot of things, and I was working very hard. So yes, it did build me, absolutely, 100%.
And of course, that character would lead you throughout your whole career as well. Definitely. Let's tackle this one from 𝗀𝗋𝗋. 𝗀𝗋𝗋 says, what are some of the ups and downs that you are currently facing as a student athlete?
I am struggling. Well, the ups and downs are basically being able to switch off from hockey life and being a student. I feel like it's very difficult when you want to be the best that you can be, but you're also forgetting about your social life. So that's where I feel like it's a bit challenging for me, especially because it's either you want to go too social or you want to go too focused. The balance between those two is not. Yeah, I'm struggling a bit with that. That's my challenge.
This one comes through from Tembani, and he talks about that age that you just referred to now, staying on top of your game. He simply says, share some tips that you use to stay on top of your game.
I pray a lot. I pray, and I like holding myself accountable a lot. Like, I want to make sure that if I put something out there, I make sure that I do exactly that. And also, I think just being there for yourself, and also hard work, and all those little discipline, those little things, they build up to that age. Because if I'm not disciplined enough, what am I doing this for?
Definitely. I'd like for us to touch on something that you've alluded to now in terms of finding the balance between social life and being on top of your game. And it's a conversation that you can't avoid in 2021. And that's a conversation related to mental health. How do you deal with the pressure? Because you have to perform in all areas of your life. I mean, when you're on the turf, when you are an athlete, and you mentioned now that you sometimes struggle with these things, and then you turn to prayer. How do you just keep yourself at peace and calm?
Yeah, so this year actually, my defense coach gave me a tip where she told me that whenever you're feeling down, with whatever feeling that you emotionally feel, make sure that you have a journal where you write down all these things. You speak to yourself, you meditate, you do affirmations. So that's what I started going into that, because previously I used to just literally just take balls and go hit there at the turf, and hopefully I get over my whatever I'm going through. So I feel like that's a very good way of dealing with a lot of things, because also it has really helped me deal with mental health issues. And also, like, now currently this weekend with the whole hold up with the tournament, I did a lot of praying, I did a lot of like meditation, and I wrote in my journal how I felt, and it just helped me get out of that whole aura of sadness and disappointment. So that's what I personally do now, starting this year. I started this year, yes.
Beautiful. That's great advice. I think I can also apply that in my life. And I think that's great advice to everybody as well. Let's get back to the questions from our online community as well. This one comes through from Rachel. Rachel simply says, how important has the Premier Hockey League been for the development of hockey in South Africa?
I feel like PHL has, as I don't think it's a huge tournament, but it is so big for us players in South Africa, because you're being drafted from the top 100 players in the country. So I feel like that's a huge step up for us players, and it helps you build up, because you also get to play with the country's best players. You get to experience other levels of hockey, and also I feel like it just helps you as a player to build up confidence, and it helps you become that player. So it is very important, and I feel like it should please continue if we have money.
And I'm certain it will, of course, if we have the funding for it, and hopefully the government jumps on board to support the sport of hockey in South Africa as well. I'd love to ask you this question. This one comes through from 𝗀𝗙cie. She simply says, "Who is your close friend in the Northwest University hockey team?"
My close friend is 𝗀cie Maddox, who also had the privilege to go to the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Yeah, she's one of my very close friends, or my only close friend in the whole team.
And tell us, how did it feel to watch your best friend from the university compete at a tournament that you would love to play in?
Yes, it was really like for me. It was also inspiring because I saw the whole journey. I've been part of the journey, and like seeing her achieve her goals and be there, living her dream. It was really like it was inspiring, and it was just amazing because I know how hard she worked, and she's also the drive behind like she's my motivation. She keeps motivating me and inspiring me and pushing me as well, like in trainings to become the best I can. So it was just amazing.
Beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about your national camp. Who's your roommate when you go to the national camps? And maybe are there some interesting characters that lie behind the scenes in your team as well? Because I always know when you look at a sports team, there's usually the joker, there's the one who is the dancer, and there's always that one person singing. Maybe you can take us into your team behind the scenes a little bit.
See, the thing is, it's what our staff does is that every single camp, every single tournament that we go to, they just mix and match us. So you won't have like a standard roommate. So I won't say, okay, Aaron is my roommate until. So next time it will be someone else, next time it will be someone else. But they are very interesting characters, and I feel like that's also the reason why the sisterhood in our team is so strong, which I love. We have a Bianca Wood. She's a striker. She's the joker. She's absolutely the joker. She's so funny, and she's also the dancer. And also we have like Edith Mulekwe, who is also like a Olympian from this year's Tokyo Olympics. She's more of a serious person, she likes things being done, but she's also a joel. We have a lot of different players. A lot.
Beautiful.
A lot of as well.
Beautiful. Let's end off with this last question. This comes through from Themba, and Themba simply asks you, is there any person that you would love to show your gratitude to? Is there any high school teacher that you would like to say thank you to? Your role model, of course. Who are some of the people that have truly supported you throughout your very young career, and of course the people that will continue to stand by your side as you continue to build a very successful hockey career?
I would really like to say thank you to my coaches, starting from primary school all the way to now, my current coach. I would really like, because all of them brought a different piece of seed into my life and also into my career. And I really appreciate the support coming from my family and my friends, also teammates. Those are people that I feel like have really helped me become the person that I am right now, on or off the field. They have really helped me create this character that I am currently. And also, I think to most of my fans, thank you. Thank you, because I feel like also like knowing that people are looking up to you, it keeps you honest and it keeps you going, because there's more than just playing for yourself, you're playing for more.
Absolutely beautiful. Christa, I would simply like to thank you so much for joining us on the Sports Mvt Insider. And of course, thank you so much for being such a phenomenal brand ambassador for the sports of hockey in this country. And I'm certain that we will see you at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. You keep on working hard, and we as South African hockey lovers will just continue to support you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
You're locked on to the Sport Mvt Insider, a podcast for unrelenting coverage of women in sport. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I absolutely loved diving deeper into the journeys of our athletes, coaches, and administrators to get to know them a little bit better than we do. Coming up next week, we bring you another athlete, coach, or administrator, and she shares her incredible and inspiring journey with us. Keep it locked onto Sport Mvt, where we celebrate women in sport.